What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Cocteau Twins. Once again, big shout out to Han Solo, as well as to Doug for providing material in this deep dive, as well as to Mark and others who've commented along the way. We're returning to the 1985 EP Aikea-Guinea, and the next track, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, Quisquose. It starts with a Q, which is always a bit of an adventure figuring out how something might be pronounced. Nevertheless, given the way their vocals aren't always lyrics per se, and even some of the proper name references are more about sounds and syllables than actual reference points on some historical or literary level, even if in some cases I think there have been linkages in that regard, I'm not going to worry too much about it, and perhaps I'll just hear Elizabeth sing it over the course of the track. Although I'm not necessarily expecting that. So yeah, I don't know what there is really to say about the title. It indeed might even just be phonetic and part of a rhyming scheme. Nevertheless, I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is a tune spelled Quisquose, and it's from the 1985 EP Aikea-Guinea. Another mesmerizing tune. I find myself being hypnotized now in a different way than the tracks on Garlands or even some of the other songs that we went through on Treasure. But yes, it seems like their music just has this really like mentally transporting quality to it. And it's another tune that feels a bit dreamlike, maybe differently than some other tracks where I've said that. This one, for whatever reason, it felt more like a daydream. Perhaps like one of those dreams, like if you nap in the afternoon, right when you're sort of drifting off and your mind begins to perceive some events or some scenes, but you're still sort of in that in-between place where you might like suddenly jerk awake again. So it felt like it was like this half-asleep type of dream atmosphere. And again, we have layered Fraser vocals, a couple of which had, or one part of which seemed to have a lot of echo on them, or it. And then we have the sonics, which feel a bit more languid and down-tempo, even like depressive, but her voice was more soaring and light and bright. So again, it felt like some place between brightness and darker or more depressed sounds, somewhere between being awake and seeing the world as it is and being in a dream world where you might see things that are not actually the case. I don't know if I heard the title of the track. There was one point where I thought maybe I did, but I'm not sure. And there were other sounds and vocalizations which seemed like they were, again, not really words per se, certainly not words in English, but just more like phonetics and vocal articulations. And yeah, it was a really mesmerizing type of tune, which again seemed to be between worlds in a couple different respects. I enjoy the intensity of some of her vocalizations in this one, like really not sharp and not necessarily belting, but just very powerful in certain moments, and then smoother and more lilting like a lot of her other vocal work that I've already heard in different tunes so far. So yeah, a very captivating one. Again, I don't really know what to say about it thematically or what the reference point was. Again, maybe the title is actually a proper name reference. If it is, I'm unfamiliar with the source, so I look forward to hearing people comment. But there's never a tune of theirs where it's not interesting in some way. There's never a track where I'm like, oh, I kind of can predict where this is going, and even that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are a lot of tracks where intuitively I get a sense for what it's about to do melodically, or I hear the first line in a rhyming scheme and suddenly you get a sense for what at least the final word is going to be in the second line. It's never like that with Cocteau Twins, though again, I don't mind when a tune is more intuitive, but I also enjoy when a tune is very unpredictable and I'm just kind of along for the ride, which is seemingly a hallmark of their catalog. So another fun one. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.